Hello everyone, I'm Sheldon Baker, the host for Healthy Bytes, brought to you by Innovision Health Media. My guest today is Dan Coyle. He is the president of Herbs, Etc. His background includes transforming operations across the natural wellness, food, technology, and manufacturing sectors. Considered a champion of operational excellence and a servant leader, Dan drives success by building collaborative teams and challenging the status quo. He is deeply committed to sustainability and environmental responsibility, as well as dedicated to aligning business growth with positive planetary and societal impact. Dan, thanks for joining me on Healthy Bytes today.
Thank you.
I learned you're very much into animal welfare and have fostered over 60 dogs. Who are you caring for at present?
Our current dog is Zuzu. You can actually find her on social media. They have their own Instagram website, and she's a little 40-pound pit bull that has been abused, and she's terribly fearful, but she's starting to come out of her shell, and it's really exciting to see her grow and develop and become what I would consider to be more of a regular dog.
Yeah, sad when they leave you, huh?
Yeah, it is sad. It's always hard, but we really focus on being able to have a space for dogs, and we almost constantly foster. So, and we try to take dogs that might need some place to go. Sometimes at some point shelters, they just run out of space for dogs, and so we try to take the dogs that either need more help or are reaching sort of the end of their time that they can be at the shelter.
Very good. Looking at Herbs, Etc., the company has been making herbal products in-house for more than 55 years. How has your manufacturing facility over time adapted, and why does it matter as to what ends up in the bottle?
It matters a lot. Our average tenure for people who make our formulas and put our products into either soft gels or bottles, their average tenure is over 15 years. And while everything we do is formula-based and based on batch records and manufacturing processes, the folks know the process inside and out. And so they can quickly spot things that aren't appropriate or not what we would normally expect. And those are the kinds of things that it's difficult to put that into a recipe. They can just look using sight, smell, organoleptics, others, they identify when things aren't right. It doesn't mean that they're wrong, but not to our standards. So, and they know these things and they uphold our standards every time we make product.
Numerous supplement brands I know today use contract manufacturers, and sometimes to whoever offers the best price, I believe. You've chosen a different path. So what does staying in-house cost you, if anything, and what has it brought you?
It can cost us some on margin and speed, but it brings us a lot more than it costs us. Because we do everything ourselves, we have 100% control over the quality of the ingredients that we're using and the quality of the finished goods that we're producing. Also, we're not subjected to changes. For example, contract manufacturers can change their minimum quantities, which can then affect price, which can then cause you to maybe consider using cheaper raw materials. We don't do that. We use the best raw materials we can get. We process all of our, well, not everything, but all the herbs that should be processed fresh, brought in fresh, within 24 hours of being harvested in the field, we start extracting out the phytochemicals.
I think you feel that most brands believe transparency claims are the path to consumer trust. Do you think the real work may happen somewhere else, and if so, where?
I think it's a combination. So definitely, having clean labels and communicating effectively the ingredients that are in your product and what they do is important, but it's not everything. I think part of what creates trust is that you've made the same formula and people have used it for a period of time and they find that it works and that we're not changing it. Oftentimes, especially expensive ingredients. Sometimes people don't put as much of it in there as you would need to actually have it be efficacious. So they can claim that it's in there, but the quantity that's in there is not at a level that it should be. We don't do those things. We focus on traditional formulas and making things right.
Herb costs, like most things, are rising, and the market keeps rewarding speed and margin. How are you and Herbs, et cetera, navigating that tension right now, and what are you willing to trade away?
We're not willing to trade away anything. It is a challenge, especially now. You can imagine how something like fuel prices not only affect directly when we're doing our own transportation, but they also impact the cost of raw materials because the suppliers have to ship their products as well. So we're constantly making trade-offs about what we pass on to the consumer, but the one thing that we won't compromise on are the raw materials that we use. There are alternatives. For example, instead, I mentioned fresh before, you can buy powdered ingredients that are effectively the same thing, but because we're not in control of the process and we want to make sure that it's done properly, we continue to do it ourselves rather than buying fresh. So we don't look for cheaper alternatives when prices go up. The decision that we need to make is this something that we need to pass on? But we won't compromise. So if our prices go up on our products, it's because our raw materials went up.
What might the herb category need more of that it isn't getting right now?
I think there's a couple of things that I think the herb category could use, but one of them is just better information on things that are being released and maybe a slightly slower speed to market so that we can assess a new formula or a new ingredient and make sure that oftentimes you'll hear about new ingredients and they'll have positive benefits, but they also have negative benefits. And those things don't necessarily get communicated as well. So I think more knowledge and education around what actually works and what the truth is versus marketing now that can often take an ingredient, make it really exciting, everybody starts using it, and then in a couple of years, nobody's using it anymore. So the medicines and the processes that we use are based on traditional formulas, oftentimes that have been around for hundreds of years.
Are there any trends that are happening right now in the herb industry?
Sure, there's lots of different trends. I mean, in general, there's a trend towards finding new ingredients that that propose to bring health benefits. And I'm not saying that they don't, but I think sometimes they need to be understood better. There's like different categories like antioxidants. Glutathione has become really popular. And glutathione is a great product, but I think if Herbs, et cetera, created a product called glutathione or had that in there, people would wonder why, because we typically use plants directly.
What do you want Herbs, et cetera, to be known for in the next 10 years?
I'd like us to be known for our brand and our adherence to traditional recipes and that our products work, but I'd also like us to be known as a company that takes care of the planet, Earth, and plants. To that end, that we're going to start working harder on corporate social responsibility, ensuring that we're doing the right things with our farmers in the communities that we do business in, et cetera. I'd like Herbs, et cetera, to be known as a place that takes care of the earth and plants and people.
Wish you lots of luck to be able to do that. Dan, thank you for joining me on Healthy Bites.
Thank you. It was really a pleasure.
And thanks to all of you for watching Healthy Bites.